Welcome, foolish mortals. There's no turning back now.
What's up, everybody? Welcome, foolish mortals. And like the Haunted Mansion's ghost host says, there is no turning back now. But why would you want to, really? I'm so excited to be back. This is episode number 15 of the Disney Life Happy Wife podcast, the podcast where we talk about all things Disney. I am your ghost host. I'm Kristen, and you know me. If it's a Disney life, then I am a happy wife. Like I said, I am so excited to be back. We took a little bit of a hiatus here at a Disney Life Happy Wife over the holidays. Things just got a little crazy, with family and Christmas and Thanksgiving and all of that kind of stuff. So we decided to take a little bit of a break. I am actually testing out kind of some new equipment, I guess we'll say. It's not the regular mic and headset that I usually use for the podcast. So if the podcast sounds a little bit different today, that's why. So coming back from the holidays, as of right now, we have 26 days until our Disney trip in February. So I wanted to test out kind of the most low-key equipment that I could use while we're on the trip, because I want to do a couple of short episodes. I guess we'll call them shorty episodes while we're in Disney, to kind of tell you what's been going on there, what we're doing, what we've liked, what we haven't liked, and all that kind of stuff. So I'm testing out using my Apple earbuds that have, it has a mic on it. Obviously, probably the most low-key things I could probably use. So I'm testing out that, so we'll see what the quality's like. I want to know what you guys think of the quality. So shoot me an email and let me know. As you know, the email, I just got a new one towards the end before the break. It is dlhwpodcast@gmail.com. So hit me up, let me know what you think, let me know what you think of the quality. I don't really want to bring my whole mic and headset equipment that I usually use with me. So I'm going to see what we can do. So with that being said, we had a great holiday season. I hope that you guys did as well, whether you celebrate Christmas, Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, whatever you guys celebrate. I hope it was a fantastic holiday season. We are back with episodes, every Wednesday for you guys. So I'm so excited about that. Episode number 15 right here. And the holiday season, this is, the podcast that talks about everything Disney. So of course we had Disney all in our holiday season. And Emily got lots of Disney themed presents, which I guess is another episode in and of itself. So she got this giant, if you're familiar with Target, I guess, you have probably seen in the toy aisles, they have this giant Sven. He's called the Playdate Sven, and was lucky enough to get one of those for Christmas. So we have that, currently in our living room, and she loves it. And of course she got other Disney presents from Santa and everybody else. We got tons of Disney games, and it was absolutely great. We had a great season, and we rung in the new year. You rang in the new year? Rang? Whatever. So we rang in the new year. It's 2020. This is the very first podcast episode in the new year, but also in a new decade. That's so crazy. It's so crazy that we're in 2020. Weren't we supposed to have like hoverboards or something? Weren't they predicting that in, Back to the Future? What? Aren't we supposed to have like hoverboards and stuff like that by now? All right, but I digress. So, like I said, I hope you guys had a fantastic holiday season and a happy, happy new year. I'm hoping that it is filled with good health and love and joy and happiness for you guys. So, with that being said, let's just jump right into this episode. So, like I said, we are 26 days from our next Disney trip. So I am so looking forward to it. We definitely need the vacation. And we are spending 10 whole days in Disney. So I cannot wait. So right before, I guess right in the midst of the holiday season, right after Thanksgiving and right before Christmas, we hit our 60-day mark. Now, if you are familiar with staying at Walt Disney World, you stay, in the parks and all of that, you know what the 60-day mark means. And what does that mean? Drum roll, please. That means Fast Pass Day. If you stay on Walt Disney World resort property, you get 60 days ahead of time to book your Fast Passes, which is great. And for those of you who aren't familiar with Fast Passes, if maybe you only go to Disneyland or you've only been to other parks that don't have a Fast Pass, well, Fast Pass in Walt Disney World is a pass that you get that you can kind of tap into the ride, and get ahead of everybody. So you've already made that. It makes it easier to ride some of the rides that you need. Their waits are so long and you have to book them in advance. Chances are, if you're booking them the day of, you're not going to get the great rides that, you're usually going to have to wait, 100 minutes for. They'll say the wait is. So they're passes that just make it easier for you to get on some rides. And that's why they're so important. You need those passes to get on some of those rides that have the long waits. Like if you're in Magic Kingdom, Seven Dwarfs Mine Train is one of those rides. I know that Splash Mountain usually has a long wait. And there's a ton of others that usually have a long wait. But Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, Peter Pan's Flight are usually big ones that we usually always get a Fast Pass for. There's a bunch in the newer parks. In Star Wars, I don't think it's that bad yet. In Toy Story Land, Slinky Dog Dash. In Epcot, Frozen, the Frozen ride is always a big one. Test Track is always a big one. In Animal Kingdom, Everest is usually a big one. So there are a bunch of, they'll call them top tier or tier 1 rides that you definitely need Fast Passes for, and it's super important. So if you're staying on Disney property, then you get to book those 60 days in advance. And I always tell everybody, I'm like, do it. Don't wait, do it. If you are not staying on Disney property, then you get 30 days. You have those park tickets, you get 30 days ahead of time to book those. So do it as soon as you possibly can. Have your plan in place and make those Fast Passes. It's just important, folks. So in between Thanksgiving and Christmas, we hit our 60-day mark. So we got to make our Fast Passes. Now, I love the planning. I love the planning of our Walt Disney World trips. That's, one of the big reasons why I became a Disney travel agent, is because I love the process. I love booking the trips and making dining reservations and making Fast Pass reservations and all of the planning that comes into place. I love that. I'm a planner, so I love it. And Fast Pass Day is one of my absolute favorite days. My husband and I usually have a plan in place ahead of time, and then on Fast Pass morning, I get up at super early in the morning. It's either 6 or 7 in the morning, and I am on my computer getting those Fast Passes done. And I'm not kidding when I tell you that I'm literally sitting there for over an hour making Fast Passes. Because, we have this trip, we're going for 10 days, but we only have 8 park days. The first day, we're kind of taking the day off, just kind of relax. We're staying at Animal Kingdom, so there's going to be a lot to do and a lot to see there before we head to dinner that day. And then I think we have a day kind of in the middle where we don't have a park day, where we're just kind of chilling out and we have a great breakfast that day. And then I think we're going to be in Disney Springs. We're going to go over there for the afternoon and do some shopping and then have dinner at one of our favorite spots, Raglan Road. So we only have an 8-day ticket this time. So I wanted to make sure that I made the most of those Fast Passes and those tickets. So we'd already had our dining reservations done. We did that 180 days out. And I'll definitely talk about that. I know I've talked a bit about Disney dining and stuff like that in previous episodes. So today, like I said, we're talking about Fast Passes. So I'm going to kind of break down what Fast Passes we got, why we chose those and why it's important to have one for those. Some of them may not be ones that you would necessarily want. They're rides that we like, that Emily likes, and that's why we wanted them. So like I said, the first day we're kind of staying out of the park. There's plenty to do at Animal Kingdom, and then we head out to dinner. So on day 2, our day 2 of our trip is our, first park day. It's our first full day there, and it's our first park day. So we, of course, head to Magic Kingdom. That is our first stop. First park is Magic Kingdom. It's always the first park that we go to is Magic Kingdom. So I asked Emily, what do you want to do first? It's our first full day there, and we're going to Magic Kingdom. So I said, what do you want to do first? Now, she knows that I have this great nostalgia and love for the Enchanted Tiki room. So she said, Mommy, I want to go there first. And I know you don't need a fast pass for Enchanted Tiki room. I don't even know if they offer it. I have to double check on that. But so the very first thing we do is we are going to Magic Kingdom, heading straight to Adventureland, and we are going to go to the Enchanted Tiki room. Listen to the birds, sing about, the birds. I don't know. So we're going to go do that. And then Emily and my husband, Will, are going to ride the magic carpets, where they get to, go by the naughty camel, as Em calls him, and he spits. So they're going to go do that. And while they do that, I am going to test out mobile ordering for my Dole Whip, my very first Dole Whip of the trip. Obviously, first big day. That's what I'm going to do. Going to go get the Dole Whip while they are riding the magic carpets. And then we're going to head over to meet Jasmine. Emily has said from day 1 that she wants Jasmine to really be the first princess that she meets. Now, the night before, we do have reservations at Wilderness Lodge at Artist Point, so Em will get to see Snow White there. But first big park day, she said the very first princess she wants to see is Jasmine. So we're going to make that happen for her. And then after we meet Jasmine, we are going to hop on our very first Fast Pass, which is in Adventureland. It is the Jungle Cruise. Jungle Cruise is one that usually you'll get kind of a longish wait time. So we wanted to make sure that we got a Fast Pass for that. And we decided, we were going to let Em plan out the beginning of our morning. So we went with what she wanted to do. And then we're going to jump right into the Fast Passes. So the first one we have is Jungle Cruise. After that, we are heading over to Frontierland, and Em and Will are going to ride the first roller coaster of the trip. They're going to hop on our second Fast Pass of the day, and that is Big Thunder Mountain. Now, I don't ride roller coasters. I went on a roller coaster once when I was like 18, 19 years old, and it was an old wooden roller coaster, and I felt so sick afterwards that I said, never again. I'm never going to ride one again, and now I have this anxiety about roller coasters. I literally just can't do it. So until I can kind of overcome that, I will not be going on roller coasters. But I'm the kind of person, I have no problem making a Fast Pass and kind of wasting a Fast Pass to, get in the queue and get the kind of Fast Pass that my daughter wants. So I know my husband is really excited to take her on Big Thunder. She is finally tall enough, so he's really excited about that. And she loves roller coasters. She loves the Barnstormer and Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. So next step up from that is Big Thunder Mountain. So that's our second Fast Pass of the day. And after we get that, we are heading over to Liberty Square, and we are riding my favorite Magic Kingdom ride, the Haunted Mansion. Now, we had originally talked about kind of staying in that area and doing Pirates of the Caribbean. Pirates of the Caribbean you can usually get as a fourth Fast Pass of the day, or you can usually just jump in the line. Sometimes it's not that busy. So I thought, you know what? We're going on the Jungle Cruise. We're riding a roller coaster for Will and Em. I want a ride that I love, and that's Haunted Mansion. And I love Haunted Mansion. It's another one like Pirates that you can usually either jump in line, and the line can usually be somewhere between 30 to 50 minutes. But who really wants to wait that long? So Fast Pass it was. My favorite ride, and I know Em's really excited to ride it. She's really excited to ride Haunted Mansion. I think that's because it's my favorite ride. in Magic Kingdom, so she's really excited about that. Now, I just mentioned that you can do a 4th Fast Pass, which I didn't talk about before. So, with Fast Passes, you get 3 Fast Passes per day that you're in a park, and it's per park. So if you're going to be jumping parks, it's only that one park, I believe. So you get three Fast Passes. After your 3 Fast Passes are done, you've tagged into all your Fast Passes. After those are done, you get the option of making another Fast Pass. So then you can jump on the My Disney Experience app or one of the kiosks that they have and get another Fast Pass. And after that Fast Pass is done, you can get another Fast Pass and that kind of stuff. So we try and do that as much as we can for the rides like Haunted Mansion and Pirates of the Caribbean and stuff like that have a little bit of a long wait time, but they're not that bad. So we try and get them for a 4th. So that's our first day. Those are our first 3 Fast Passes. They're rides that, usually can get kind of a long wait. They're not the crazy ones, but they usually get kind of a long wait, so we want to make sure that we're getting Fast Passes for those. So our next day, we did things a little bit differently this time. We're going over to Epcot, and on this particular day, we're starting the day in the World Showcase. So we have a reservation over at the boardwalk, and then we are coming over, entering through into the World Showcase. So we decided we're going to spend the day there. We only have 1 Fast Pass that day. And I know you might be thinking, whoa, you have 3 Fast Passes a day. Why just 1? Well, we only did just 1 because since we are staying in the World Showcase, we only kind of wanted to stay there. And there's really only 1 ride in World Showcase that you actually need. So the ride that I am talking about, if you don't know, is the Frozen Ever After ride. It took the place of the ride that they had in Norway, and it has been probably the busiest ride in Epcot to date. And you always really need a Fast Pass for it. The wait for that can get up to like 2 hours, and I really don't want to make my 5-year-old wait in line for 2 hours to go on a ride with her favorite Disney princesses. So we always do a Fast Pass for that on Epcot Day. Always, always, always. So since we're staying in the World Showcase, my husband had suggested, why not do KidCot? And for those who don't know what KidCot is, in all of the different countries in Epcot in the World Showcase, they have these stops at most of them, if not all of them, where kids can go and they can collect stamps in their passport books, and they can create personalized souvenirs at these different countries, and it's really wonderful. And we've never done it. We've always seen little things about it, but we've never actually done it with them. She's never really been old enough to kind of be interested in it. So we decided that this time, our first day, we'll stick into the World Showcase. Our dining reservations are all in the World Showcase that day anyway. So we're going to stay there, and we're going to do, the Frozen ride, and there's a couple of other, attractions that we can do that you don't need a Fast Pass for, like the ride in Mexico. And we're going to do KidCot. So we're pretty excited about that. It should be really fun. I hope that Emily likes it as much as my husband and I are thinking that she will. So hopefully she likes it. So that's Epcot Day. Our next day we're in Hollywood Studios, and Hollywood Studios has a great number of rides that are really great there, but they also have tons of shows. And for the shows you don't necessarily need a Fast Pass for, you will get a better seat for the show if you have a Fast Pass, and you will get in first if you have a Fast Pass, but it doesn't necessarily mean that that you don't necessarily need one, we'll say. Chances are, you could end up, for some of the shows, you could end up not getting in. You could end up waiting for the next one. So let's say you get in line at like 1 o'clock for the 1:30 show, and you're waiting and waiting and waiting, and, you know, everybody goes in through the fast pass line, everybody gets in, and then, you know, you're still waiting in line, and they let a bunch of people in from the standby line, and then, you know, you're right there at the cutoff and you don't get in, and you have to wait for the next show. So we tend to make fast passes for the shows that we know that we really like and that Emily really likes. So on Hollywood Studios Day, we have fast passes for shows, but we have fast passes for rides as well. So our first day there, we obviously made a fast pass for a ride there that the three of us love. You know, my husband and I are very competitive, and we've kind of gotten Emily into that as well. My all-time favorite Walt Disney World ride is Toy Story Mania. And it's a fantastic ride. And we got fast passes for that because that can get a really long wait time. And we then got fast passes for a couple of shows. Now, our day is kind of spaced out that day. We get there and we have breakfast, and we then go to the Frozen sing-along. We have a fast pass for that. If you have not seen the Frozen sing-along, go see it. It is absolutely amazing. It is so funny, and it's just a great show, and I love it. So definitely get a fast pass for that and go see it. Then we head over to Galaxy's Edge, which is the new Star Wars land. We are not riding any rides there. I don't know that Emily is ready for it, and I know Rise of the Resistance is just opening, and they're only doing select boarding passes for that as of right now. So we didn't get anything for that. We're just going to kind of check out Galaxy's Edge and see what it's all about. We have a reservation to make droids, so we're doing that. That's going to be, you know, M's big souvenir of the trip is we're making her a droid, and she gets to pick it out, and she gets to do all of that, so that's exciting. Hopefully when we are there, I will do a short episode about our experience with that, and Emily can tell you what she did. So we do the Frozen sing-along, we go to Galaxy's Edge, then we head over to Toy Story Land, and we hop on Toy Story Mania. And after that, our last fast pass of the day that we've already scheduled is one that Emily is so excited for. She can absolutely not wait. We previously saw the Disney Junior show that they had there, and Emily really loved it. She loves Disney Junior. And then they stopped doing it, and we were sad about it. And they started doing a tour of this new show called the Disney Junior Dance Party. And Emily loved it. We saw it on tour. It was absolutely great. And then we caught wind of the fact that they're going to start doing that in Hollywood Studios. So Emily was so excited. So we can't wait. We can't wait to go see that show. I know she's going to be so excited about it, and she's going to be so pumped to see some of these characters that she absolutely loves watching on TV. So we got a fast pass for that for her. We're so excited about it. It's going to be a great day in Hollywood Studios. I mean, it's always a great day. So our next day, we're heading over to Animal Kingdom. We love Animal Kingdom. I mean, who doesn't love animals? Come on. So we're only in Animal Kingdom one day, and we usually get everything in that we want to see, and we don't feel like, oh, we need a second day in Animal Kingdom. So with that being said, our fast passes for the day, you know, Animal Kingdom is a little bit like Hollywood Studios ride-wise, attraction-wise. So they have some great shows that people may not know about, and they also have some really great rides. Now, one of the rides that you need a fast pass for usually is Expedition Everest, especially if you're in a party of, you know, a bunch of people that love roller coasters. Expedition Everest is a great coaster if you've got thrill seekers and they love that kind of stuff. My husband personally does. And we have decided that while Emily may be tall enough to go on Everest, she is not emotionally ready for Everest yet. So we're going to wait a couple of years until she's ready to book that kind of fast pass for her. So my husband goes in the single rider line for Expedition Everest. So he goes and he rides that by himself, and Emily and I sit and wait, and we watch, you know, the coasters come down the big hill, and I sit there and I practically sweat from the anxiety of it. But we watch and we wait for him, and I'm glad that they have the single rider line so that he can do that. But our fast passes for the day, you know, we get in there. Our very first one of the day is Kilimanjaro Safaris. I love the safari because I love that you get to go along and you get to see all these different animals, and I just absolutely love it. I think it's wonderful, and Emily loves animals, so it's a great way for her to see all of those animals. Then, after a little bit of time, we head over to our favorite show in all of Walt Disney World. Now, it's hard to say that because there's so many great shows in Disney, but this is our favorite. Absolute favorite. We see it every single time we go to Animal Kingdom, and we always see it. We tell everybody that we see it. We have to see it. It's our favorite show. It is Festival of the Lion King. It's just amazing, people. If you have not seen the show, if you've been to Animal Kingdom and not seen the show, go see it. It's so great. The music is amazing. The lights, the costumes, the colors, the interaction, it's wonderful. We absolutely love it. Emily and I were actually in the show the last time we went. They have kind of a little parade of the kids and stuff like that are seeing it. So Emily didn't want to go by herself, so I went with her, and it was great. I absolutely love that show. Get a fast pass if you've never seen it. And then after that, we head over to the World of Avatar, Pandora. I love Pandora. I was so excited when they said that they were making this land. I was so excited. I could not wait. So we always spend a little bit of time in Pandora, basically because I love it. And I get my night blossom drink there, and I absolutely love it. I can't wait. And they have 2 rides in Pandora. One of them, I've heard from other people that if you get motion sick on rides, probably isn't the best ride for you. So I don't know that I will ever be going on it. Maybe Emily and my husband someday. It's kind of like a roller coaster meets Soarin'. So probably wait a few years for Emily to be able to go on that and see what she thinks. So while Emily and my husband will not be going on that ride, the second ride that they made in Pandora is called the Navi River Journey. Now, it is a fantastic ride that is very slow, I guess we'll say. The whole track of it, it's a water ride. It's kind of like, it's a small world. So you're going along in a boat, and you're going through Pandora, and just the sights and the colors and the sounds and the music, it's just wonderful. And you get to experience all of this, and it's just so well done. I absolutely love it. So whenever we go to Animal Kingdom, I always try and get a fast pass for this ride because I love it. There may come a time where I am making fast passes for Emily and my husband on the other ride and myself on the Navi River Journey, but who knows. So those are our fast passes for Animal Kingdom. Then our next day is a break day. So after 4 straight park days, we kind of want to take a little bit of a break, kind of decompress. We spend time in Disney Springs, like I said. And then the day after that, we head right back into the parks. We have 4 days left of our trip, so we're right back into it. And we head, of course, back over to Magic Kingdom for another day there. And we have to get the fast passes that are really big. You know, Emily hasn't set any precedents for where we're going to be that day. So I definitely got Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, which is becoming one of M's, favorite rides. And that wait is usually crazy. So I got that one. I got Peter Pan's Flight, which is a classic Disney World ride. And it's a little bit on the longer side, so it tends to have a long wait. And everybody loves it. It's, like I said, it's a classic. So it tends to have a bit of a long wait time. And I got the Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh because we love Winnie the Pooh. Who doesn't love Winnie the Pooh? And Emily absolutely loves it. And I know that a lot of the times after we come off Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh, Emily wants to get right back on, and you can't just sit there and keep going. So we tell her, maybe another time, maybe we can try and get another fast pass for it or something. But there's so much more to see, so we try to steer her away. But if you can't get a fast pass for Winnie the Pooh, it probably has one of the best queues in the whole park. It's so interactive for kids. It's really great, and they have a whole section where kids can play while you're waiting. So I love that part. So if by chance, we had to wait in line for it, at least we know that Em would be entertained while we're waiting. So with the last 4 days, after our break day, we go to Magic Kingdom. And then our very last day, the day that we leave, we spend kind of a half day in Magic Kingdom as well. So we got more fast passes for that. So I'll jump there. We got fast passes for Buzz Lightyear's Space Ranger Spin, Enchanted Tales with Belle, and Under the Sea, The Journey of the Little Mermaid. Now, those rides don't have the longest waits usually. Buzz can get a little bit long. Enchanted Tales with Belle is more of a show than a ride. So like the other shows in the other parks, it doesn't tend to be too long, but sometimes you do have to wait. So, and Under the Sea, Journey of the Little Mermaid doesn't tend to get too long, but at the same time, I mean, The Little Mermaid is my favorite Disney movie. So I always want to try and get on that ride. And I know that Em loves it. She doesn't love Ursula, but she does love that ride. So we try and get those as well. Any way that we can cut down, the wait time for those is always a plus for us. So we have 2 other days that I didn't talk about. We do get another day in Epcot. So we decided that we're going to, while we had our first day in Epcot over in the World Showcase, we're going to spend this day on the other side of the park called Future World. Now, I think they're going to be calling it something different when they do all of the revamping and everything of Epcot. So for right now, we'll just stick with Future World. So being in Future World, there are some rides that you definitely need fast passes for. Soarin' Around the World is one of them. Soarin' is one of my absolute favorite rides. I love it. I didn't think I was going to. I thought I was going to be too scared. I did have some anxiety in line about it because they say, if you're afraid of heights, don't ride this ride. And I'm like, uh-oh, why am I? And my husband's like, it's fine. You will be fine. It's great. We sat on the very bottom over at the edge so I could see, it's just a ride. This isn't real. And I absolutely loved it. But the last time we went, I wasn't feeling well, so I didn't go on it. But Emily and my husband went on it, and she did not like it. Some of the transitions and some of the things that happen on that ride were a little bit much for her. So I said, let's wait. This time we won't make a fast pass for it, and we'll go maybe the following trip. And so that'll be our 2021 trip, and maybe we'll try it again. And I'll go on at that time with her, hopefully. And we'll see what she thinks after that. So another ride over in Future World that you definitely need a fast pass for is Test Track. And Emily and my husband love Test Track. Emily loves designing the car, and she loves going zoomy fast, as she calls it. She loves going zoomy fast. So I, of course, wanted to make one for that, but when I went to go make our fast passes, I couldn't make one for it. The system was down. So hopefully, fingers crossed, we can get a 4th fast pass for that. Maybe I'll see if I can go in there and try and change them and see what we can do there, because that's such a bummer. She loves that ride. So I was upset that we couldn't get that for her. I personally don't, because I don't like going zoomy fast. So that's another one that I was going to take one for the team and kind of go in there and design the car with her and my husband, and then kind of exit right before the ride. So, but we did get some fast passes for some great rides, and ones that you don't necessarily need them for. Usually the wait times are not that bad. But we got Spaceship Earth, which is a classic. Living with the Land, which I absolutely love. I love going along this ride, and it's a slow ride. It's a water ride, just like It's a Small World and Navi River Journey. And it's really great to see all that Disney does, living with the land and helping the earth and all of that. It's really great to see. So I love that. And we got the Seas with Nemo and Friends, which you don't necessarily need a fast pass for, like I said, but it's great to have one. Emily loves the Seas with Nemo and Friends. She loves fish. She's always loved fish. She's always loved marine life, and she's always loved Finding Nemo and Finding Dory. So to go on that ride, she just loves it. So, and she loves that in the end, you kind of come out into this like mini aquarium. So she loves to go around and check out the fish. And we always do Turtle Talk with Crush and all of that. So that's really great. So we got fast passes for those, and those are the 3 fast passes we got in Future World for our second Epcot day. So we had another day that we start off at a resort for breakfast, and then we end the day, kind of, our dining reservation is in Disney Springs. But we had nothing in the middle of the day. We don't have a lunch reservation. We're going to snack throughout the day. So I was like, where do we go? Do we go back to Magic Kingdom? Do we go to Hollywood Studios? Do we go to Animal Kingdom? What do we do? So we decided we were going to do our fast passes that day in Hollywood Studios. So we'll go from our breakfast reservation to Hollywood Studios, and then Hollywood Studios to Disney Springs. And we got some fast passes for things you definitely need fast passes for. Now, like I said before, I am not a coaster girl. I do not like riding roller coasters. Emily and my husband love them. So I got a fast pass. Yay. I was lucky enough to get a fast pass for the 2 of them for Slinky Dog Dash. And it's the new roller coaster over in Hollywood Studios. Emily loves it. She absolutely loves Slinky Dog. So I got that for her and my husband, and while they're riding that, they'll check in for that, and I will run over to Toy Story Mania and ride that one again by myself. I have no problem riding that by myself. I absolutely love it. Like I said, it's my favorite. We then got fast passes for 2 shows, 2 more shows that are there. Like I said, Hollywood Studios has some great shows. We got fast passes for Indiana Jones Epic Stunt Spectacular, which I remember seeing as a kid. And it's great that I get to share this nostalgia and this love of this show with Emily. And we also got fast passes for Voyage of the Little Mermaid, which is another show. And there's singing in it, and of course, Little Mermaid. So I love it, and I definitely want to do it. So that's it. Those are the fast passes for our trip. Like I said, fast passes are super, super important. If you can make those fast passes, make those fast passes. If you have any questions about fast passes, shoot me an email. Shoot me an email, DM me on any social media where I'm at. Ask me. I'm more than happy to answer the questions. My email, like I said, is dlhwpodcast@gmail.com. Okay? It's the brand new email, so hit me up. Okay? So that's it. That's what we've got. Like I said, our fast passes may not be the fast passes that you would choose. You might want to do all thrill rides. But it's what works for us. It's the rides that we like as a family. And if there are rides, that are thrill rides that have a single rider, I'll, be like, hey, honey, go ahead. Em and I'll grab a snack or go into a store or something and wait. Like Expedition Everest or Space Mountain. So we will do that. Like I said, they're what works for us. What kind of fast passes work for you? So that's it for today's episode, for this week's episode. I'm so happy to be back. I'm so happy to be back in action and bringing you guys my love of Disney. So thank you for taking the time to listen to this episode. I'm just so excited to be back and have you guys listening to what I have to say about Disney. And I'm so excited for our trip. Like I said, we have 26 days. 26 days till our trip. And during the 10 days that we're there, I will hopefully be bringing you shorty episodes. It probably won't be a full-length episode the Wednesday that we're there. It will probably end up being, shorty episodes every few days that I'll record either that morning or that night when we get back to our resort, probably like 15, 20 minutes of what we think. My husband thinks, my daughter thinks, that kind of stuff. So, that being said, that's a wrap, folks. So, I'm so happy to be back. Like I said, hope you guys had a great holiday season, and I will be back this time next week, next Wednesday. Follow me on Facebook, Instagram. You can find me at Disney Life Happy Wife Podcast, all one word. Or you can find me on Twitter at DLHW Podcast, just like the email. And you can hit me up, DM me, message me, whatever from there if you wanna chat about anything Disney, if you have a question about fast passes or anything. Any of those social media, you can find me. Or, like I said, send me an email at dlhwpodcast@gmail.com. So where can you listen to me? Besides, obviously, where you're listening to me, right now. Pretty much anywhere that you can find podcasts, you can listen to me. I'm on my blog, theManySidesOfMom.com. Buzzsprout, Spotify, Apple. So that's either, iTunes or Apple Podcasts if you have the app. Google, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, TuneIn, iHeartRadio, and Pandora. So like I said, pretty much anywhere that you can listen to podcasts, you can listen to us. So, or listen to me, I should say. So go and listen. We're pretty much everywhere. So listen along, follow me on social media, subscribe to the podcast, and leave me a review. Leave me, whether you really like the show or whether you're not the biggest fan of the show. I want to know. I want to know what you think of the show. Give me all your comments. Give me all your feedback. Shoot me an email if you don't want to leave it anywhere. If you want to make it private. If, it's a good review, maybe I'll talk about it. If it's a bad review, I'll talk about it because I want to know what you guys think. So, questions, comments, concerns, like I said, DM me or message me on social media or email me at dlhwpodcast@gmail.com. I love to know what you think. Especially, like I said, I'm doing a different form of equipment this week. So I want to know what you guys think about it because this is what I'm thinking about using when I go to Disney. So let me know what you think. I love to know. So thank you again for listening. It means so much to me that you're taking the time out of your day to listen to what I have to say about Disney. So I will see you guys next Wednesday.